Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW, and yes, today is my birthday. I am 51 years young. I'm a little bit older. I'm a little bit saltier. Am I a little bit wiser? I don't know. But I decided that, obviously, because it's my birthday, there's only one way to celebrate, and that's to get out in the daring. And we are here on Shards. It is domination, and lo and behold, Wargaming give us B cap again. Even when I'm solo, it always seems to drop B cap in my lap. And, well, I always try to play the cap that I spawn on, and this is going to turn into a bit of a high roller, as you saw from the splash screen. There are a couple of shimikazes out there, and there's a gearing, so there's potentially two walls of skill and a nasty little gunboat. And I'm asking this GK if he can come in and support me, and I'm trying to tell him that there is a destroyer on the right side, so he shouldn't cross that gap without looking first. Obviously, I'm running my sonar while I'm on the cap because I don't want to run into a wall of skill early game. But it looks like the Shimikaze is potentially pushing out across to our right. We want to stay hidden until we've got the cap. There's some torpedoes coming through. See? Got my head screwed on the right way here. Hopefully that guy managed to avoid them behind us. And now we're going to push, and we are going to go Shima hunting if we can. There's one Shima out there. He's in the middle of the cap. What's going on across on a cap? Why aren't they pushing it? We had a destroyer on each cap, but lo and behold, the destroyer across there on that cap is almost as far back as the battleships. But we're going to start going to Pound Town on the first of our Shimikazes. He's obviously turning to get torpedoes on, so we give him enough time to fire those, and then we're going to turn and go in the opposite direction, all the while utilising the 360-degree turret traverse of the Daring, which is one of my favourite features of it. And we are on the board with a kill. We're going to pop smoke, slam the brakes on. Those are secondaries from a Schlieffen coming from the other side, and I don't want to be in the way of those because they will knock chunks off me. We're in the smoke, we've got the cap, and we're just going to try and get some more shots out there. There's the Schlieffen. He's obviously running a secondary build. Absolutely crazy. I really think that they should change secondaries so that they have to manually target a ship rather than just going off automatically. But the Yamato's got a fire on him, and we don't have the range for torpedoes. So are we going to push out? Yes, because nobody else can see him. So we're going to push through and try and spot for the team. There is a Christopher Colombo, and I'm thinking if he's going to sit in that gap, we're going to put a set of torpedoes out there towards him. The Yamato is letting his single fire burn. He's right on the limit of torpedoes here. And we are just going to farm damage here. The Shima is in there on A cap finally. He's got a ship behind him for support. And so if I can get these other two guys spotted here, then that Shima, who is in a smoke screen, can potentially use his guns and get some fires ticking on them as well, or at least see them enough that he can perhaps put torpedoes over. So we're pushing this Yamato, and we can see, he can't run forever. He can sail out there broadside and he can spam torpedoes out, but he's going to start turning in now, and we put a spread over hoping to pick him up on the corner. And there you go, we've got the Schlieffen spotted. There is the Christopher Colombo, and I'm going to pop a little smoke here thinking I can rail on these guys for some fire. But no, the Shima obviously is in his smoke screen, so it was me that was spotting these guys. But we break 30,000 damage, we've got a kill, so we've got a reduction on our main battery reload, and I'm just wondering if this Yamato is going to turn in towards me. Schlieffen has gone forwards, and we are going to see a very, very brave Shimikaze. We land a torpedo on the Yamato, we get some shots on the Schlieffen, and yeah, even though that guy is low health, he's timed that torpedo run perfectly to take out the Schlieffen. but in doing so he's going to get absolutely nailed by the Christopher Colombo, who is letting that fire tick as well. So I put a couple of shots across there, and then it's like, okay, we potentially need to push A cap because we've lost C. All the battleships just seem to be stacking up near the centre, so there's very little support out here. They're waiting for us to do the spotting. There's Mr. Yamato again, torpedoes are up, and are we going to try and get another fire on him and get him ticking? Yes, why don't we? Let's get some guns on, because you all know how much I love to play the guns on this ship. We get a fire on him, he disappears for a moment, but having fired his guns, he lets himself be spotted because of the smoke fire penalty. He's burning, he's only just damage controlled. I'll let that fire go out, but there's a double fire. The torpedoes are running. I'm keeping an eye on the minimap for where the Christopher Colombo is. That Yamato is not long for this world. We're through 100,000 damage already, and this was, I'll be honest, a bit of a damage farm. And there we go, he stops dead in the water, and there's the Christopher Colombo. So we've got him broadside. We're going to try and get some fires ticking on him too. There's a high caliber at 153,000, so let's say 150. So we're going to do a high caliber plus. But just as I'm thinking of pushing in behind him, realise that B cap is being taken. So those three battleships up there can take care of that Christopher Colombo. I am going to try and defend B cap here. I'm having a look to see what I'm up against. It's a Giran. I don't know if he's taken any hits or any damage, but I know there's a Henry IV out there. That is not something that I want to be on the receiving end of. The sonar is running. He is going to know. Well, he knows where I am, and he's going to know the second I'm on the cap, and I know roughly where he is too. But there we go, he's spotted, he's low health, so this is going to be a cheap and cheerful kill there. He's obviously backed up to get his torpedoes off, but there we go, he is gone as well. Tight turn again, so that we're not going in the direction where he was obviously going to fire his torpedoes to. And now we have successfully defended this cap. There's only 100 points in it, but we've got three battleships absolutely pounding that Colombo. So is he going to come out and YOLO it? I don't know, but we'll put the torpedoes there just to be sure. We're going to get back onto guns. We threw 160,000 damage. He's rolling his smoke. I really can't wait to get this ship in port. It's probably still about 2 or 3 weeks away for me, but it does look like it's a lot of fun to play at Legendary tier. We get another fire on him there, and we get lucky and pick up kill number 3. So the battleships have pushed this way. There's the Henry IV. He's spotted. We've got 2 ships left. I think it's a Montana and the Henry IV. So I'm hoping that those guys can potentially get some shots onto this guy and get rid of him. But we are going to pop a couple of shots in his direction. Now I'm thinking that he's heading for the cap. That was an absolutely awful aim. We still haven't got eyes on the battleship, but looking at where they're heading to, I'm thinking of pushing back through the centre of B cap here and pick them up on the other side. But then I notice that they seem to be turning back to my rear. So we did a 180 and we're going to do a 180 again. There is the Montana. I've got 45 seconds before I get my torpedoes up. And what do I do here? Yep, I'm going to put myself in severe danger because that Henry IV has just come around the corner behind us. And yeah, the battleships are there in air cap, and I'm thinking I am absolutely shafted now because that Henry IV with 1 or 2 salvos is going to absolutely drill me. So I'm calling for fire on him. I'm realizing that I'm not fast enough to get away from him. The second he breaks through that smoke screen, that I am going to be spotted, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's running down that smoke screen. So I'm going to try and distract him. We're going to put some torpedoes out there. Can we get a Kraken, which would be 152? We panic, fire the torpedoes a little bit early, forgetting how agile this guy is. His guns are on me, and I'm like, oh dear, this is the end of it. But just when I think it's all going to go horribly wrong, thankfully one of the battleships picks up the kill there. So we are cracking denied on the Henry IV, but we've still got a pretty much full health Montana here, who is just steaming broadside to 3 battleships and myself. I don't know where the 4th battleship is. There he is at the back of the map behind an island. He must be low health. So I'm just hoping that my torpedo relaunchers come up again, but they're not going to. So we're going to try and just get fires on this guy and hope that we can get 1 or 2 fires and get them ticking. There's one. He is getting absolutely pounded by everybody now. So they all sat back before it was safe to push. Come on, give me cracking 152. Everybody wants a piece of this guy now. He's on fire. He's burning. 191, 195, 198, and the Montana does a full send and denies us the Kraken a second time. But there we go, just under 201,000 damage. A very nice happy birthday to me. I love the daring. So if you want to drop me a little tip there, 3,558 base XP, yeah, I played the game. It was a damage farm. But you can leave me a super thanks on the video if you want to buy me a pint for my birthday. I'll be going out with my son later on and talking to family on phone and things later. Hope you've enjoyed it. It got a little bit crazy at the end and it nearly cost us, but in the end the team came through for the win. Don't forget to smash the like button, leave me a comment wishing me a happy birthday, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.